Steak is one of the fanciest and most expensive foods in the world, with some places charging thousands of dollars. But long before fancy dining rooms, and this guy, it was an everyday meal for a lot of people, not just a luxury. So, what happened? In this video, I'll be trying different levels of steak from the cheapest all the way to the most expensive to see how it's evolved and ultimately find out what price points is the most worth it. Starting with level 1 at the Original Market Diner in Dallas, Texas, where I just ordered their famous steak and eggs. Alrighty y'all, so the food should be arriving shortly, and the crazy thing is, this entire meal only costs about $21, which is going to be the cheapest steak in this entire video. And since it is breakfast, I also got a coffee. Now for those who didn't know, steak and eggs actually originated in Australia back in the 19th century. It was then brought to America by US Marines due to it being the perfect pre-combat high-protein breakfast. Awesome, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anything else?
That should be it.
You enjoy?
Ladies and gents, here we have my steak and eggs. Right here we have a beautiful strip loin, 2 over easy eggs, a side of crispy hash browns, and some toast. Maybe this is because I haven't eaten anything today, but oh my lord, this looks pretty good. Now the main reason steak and eggs is considered one of the cheapest ways to consume a steak is due to the fact that it's traditionally made with a cheaper and a thinner cut of meat, like a sirloin. What's really cool about this though is because it's always been super affordable, it's served as an everyday meal for anyone doing physical work, like farmers, railroad workers, you get the gist. I'm honestly very excited to go through all of the different price points of steak and in turn learn about all of the history, starting here at level 1. But before I cut into this, I will admit, when it comes to steak, your boy is a little picky. To me, the perfect steak should be cooked medium to medium rare. Otherwise, it's dry, chewy, and way too tough to eat. Since this is coming from a diner though, my expectations weren't too high. I was honestly expecting this to be overcooked since it's such a thin cut, but y'all, this is absolutely gorgeous. Alrighty y'all, cheers. So right off the bat, the steak is definitely a little bit chewier than I'm used to, but I'm okay with that because I think as a whole, this is a lot better than I thought it'd be. Flavor-wise, the steak is seasoned very well. Salt, pepper, I think I'm tasting a little bit of garlic. Pretty much your typical solid steak. Beefy, salty, simple, but most importantly, it's doing its job. Obviously, I don't work on a farm, but I feel like after eating all this, if I went to the gym, I would have a lot of energy. Alrighty y'all, so my meal is complete, and because this was level 1, I feel like it's very fair and obvious to say this was not the best steak I've ever had in my entire life, but it wasn't bad. Maybe it's because of the diner itself, but this was a lot better than I expected it to be. At the end of the day though, what I just ate was essentially steak in its most basic form. And the question now is, what happens when steak stops being an everyday food and starts becoming more of a night out? Ladies and gents, we've officially made it to level 2, the legendary Dunston Steakhouse. This restaurant is the oldest steakhouse in Dallas, having been around since 1955. Famous for their old school mesquite grilled steaks, this is the kind of place most people actually go out for. I cannot believe I've never been to a place this iconic, even though I've lived in Dallas almost my entire life. So without further ado, let's head inside. Also, before any Dallas locals come at me in the comments, I'm actually at Dunston's second oldest location that was established in 1969 because the original location was renovated back in the 90s. So technically, I feel like this is the new oldest one. Alright, so I just got seated, and right off the bat, this place gives off way different vibes than level 1 for obvious reasons. First off, this place is packed, and I'm pretty sure I am the only person in this entire building that's here by myself. Now that I think about it, since this is a place you go for a night out, I probably should have brought someone, but I am down. The inside of the restaurant definitely has that old school steakhouse vibe with its classic booths, beautiful light fixtures, and not to mention all of the old photos highlighting their history, which I thought was really cool. Now, even though the steakhouse is obviously very nice, the reason why I'm only considering it a level 2 is because the actual steaks themselves aren't that expensive. As y'all can see, they have a New York strip starting at $27, a T-bone at $45, and a bone-in ribeye at $49. These prices are fantastic, especially because as more and more luxury steakhouses pop up, Dunston's has actually thrived on its regulars. There's also this interview I found from the current owner and original founder's son, Chad Dunston, where he says, and I quote, "You go to a high-end steakhouse once a month. You come here once a week." What a great line. I love that. Now, I forget if this is common at other steakhouses, but they also brought out this bowl of fresh homemade baked bread, and I think this is honey butter. Before I order, I gotta try this. Oh my lord. I don't know how many of y'all are fans of Whataburger, but this puts their honey butter to shame. Holy guacamole. That's good. Some order has just been placed, and I gotta say, y'all, even though this is only the level 2 steakhouse, I am wildly impressed. It also makes me even more excited for the level 3 steakhouse because that spot is gonna be absolutely bonkers. With that being said, there is another level of steak that I haven't talked about too much that I also believe deserves some love. And that's the steak you can make right at home, quick and easy, especially with the help of today's sponsor, Home Chef. Home Chef is a meal kit service that delivers everything you need to cook fresh meals right at home. Since I'm super busy this week and don't have time to grocery shop, I ordered a few meals from them, like this miso butter sirloin steak. It's a part of their express meals collection, which means it arrives with pre-chopped ingredients and comes together within 30 minutes. I love that Home Chef adds new recipes to their menu every single week, since that means I'll always have a variety of meals to choose from. Everything is super easy to prep and even easier to clean up, which is perfect for me since I hate having to do a bunch of dishes. Not to mention, Home Chef has been rated #1 in quality ingredients and value. Yes, going out for a steak is very fun, but sometimes there's nothing better than cooking a meal for yourself right at home, and Home Chef makes that a whole lot easier. That's pretty good. I cooked that perfectly medium rare. Try Home Chef and get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box by using the link down in the description box below and typing in the code DylanH50 or scan the QR code right here on screen. And oh, from the looks of it, my steak at Dunston's is ready. Awesome, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, this looks phenomenal. Y'all, here we have my mesquite grilled bone-in ribeye, a side of sauteed broccoli, and some thin, crispy onion rings. I had to get the bone-in ribeye because that is literally my favorite cut of steak. I feel like it has the perfect balance of beefy and fattiness to it. I also had to get it because it is the most expensive steak they have on the menu, while still being under $50. That's crazy. Obviously, since this is a very nice and well-established steakhouse, I did ask for the steak to be cooked to medium rare. Let's see how they did. Ladies and gentlemen, the cook on this is absolutely ethereal. I don't know, I'm running out of adjectives. I'm trying. On a real note though, this steak looks so freaking good. Not only does it have perfect grill marks from the mesquite grills they have in the restaurants, you can smell the smokiness. Oh my lord, I cannot wait to dig in. Wow, that is beautiful. Cheers. Oh man, that is good. Hold on, we're going for a second bite. Wow, 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 wow. That is seasoned so well. And because these are mesquite grilled, you can taste that smokiness, which you're not gonna get out of like 99% of other steakhouses. This is really freaking good. Because it's a ribeye, like I said, it's that perfect balance of beefiness, fattiness. It's super tender, easy to chew. I am in the middle of absolutely demolishing this steak, but don't you worry, I will eat my veggies as well. Cheers. Look at me. Getting fiber, I think. I don't know. Does broccoli have a lot of fiber? Obviously, I can't forget about the onion rings. I like that they do them thin. It's pretty nice. Those are some good onion rings. Even after a few minutes of being on my plate, they're still crispy, but at the same time, they're like light and airy. That's really good. After killing almost this entire plate, I have some thoughts. I find it so unbelievable that everything that I just ate costs less than $50. I've literally had steaks at other, fancy, luxurious steakhouses that cost, I don't know, 2-3 times this amount, yet they pale in comparison. The regulars here will probably hate me for saying this if it comes true, but I genuinely believe that Dunston's could charge way more. The question is, why don't they? After finishing my meal and paying the bill, I actually got a chance to answer that question by meeting with someone very, very special. All right, guys, so this is a pretty crazy moment for me. Right next to me is the founder of Dunston Steakhouse, none other than Gene Dunston himself. It is very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
First things first, I just want to say steaks here, absolutely fantastic. I have a couple of questions that I wanted to ask you. When I was researching the place, I learned that originally the building was called a Gene's Wheel-In. What made you change it into a steakhouse?
Gene's Wheel-In was a drive-in. We had curb service, had car hop. That was in the 50s. In the 60s, we converted it into a steakhouse. That's when we changed the name.
What made you want to do steaks?
I used to go to Kirby's Steakhouse on Maple Avenue. You could go there on a Wednesday and he'd have a line out the door.
One of the main things that I noticed while I was eating here is that the prices are like very affordable. How did it feel when, a bunch of these like big expensive steakhouses started opening?
That's what helped us You just said it, expensive steakhouses.
Right.
They could still afford to eat here without taking out a bank loan.
Gotcha, that makes sense. One thing in specific that I noticed on the website is there's a quote on there that says, Gene Dunston understands the value of $1 and passes that value to his customers daily. What exactly does that mean?
I've got to say it, you know, if you give somebody their money's worth, they're happy. Give them a little more than their money's worth, they can't wait to tell everybody.
I love that. Well, it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
After talking to Gene, it became very clear that these steaks have always served a very specific purpose, and that's to give everyone a great steak dinner you don't have to save for a special occasion. All right, y'all, so we've officially made it to level 3, and behind me is a restaurant called Nick and Sam's. Established in 1999, whether it's their exclusive cuts, celebrity clientele, or the fact that multiple news sources say they're one of the best steakhouses in the entire country, it's obvious that Nick and Sam's represents steak at its highest level. After having a solid steak at Dunston's, I am very curious what they do differently here to justify the price. The good news is, I'm actually here before they open to meet someone who can help me understand it all. So, without further ado, let's head inside. Hello, how's it going?
Over you.
This is Samir. He's the head chef here at Nick and Sam's and has been leading the kitchen for over 25 years, making him the perfect person to show me what steak looks like at the highest level. What makes the steaks here better than everywhere else?
We buy the best.
You buy the best.
You have to buy the best. To serve the best, you have to buy the best.
I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea what Chef Samir meant by that. So in my own pursuit of more knowledge, I had him lead me to where they kept the meat. Holy cow. I don't think I have ever seen this much meat in my entire life.
We just got a delivery in, so.
This is crazy. As y'all can see, this walk-in features a bunch of different cuts of steak, each individually labeled. It's no doubt these aren't your regular slabs of meat, so the question I had was, what makes these steaks like so different from other places?
Every steak is different. When I opened Nick and Sam's, I went through every item on the menu and I wanted the best. I wanted it to be treated the best. So from buying prime meat to making sure it's aged just right, my theory is you buy the best. You don't have to do a lot to it. You serve it the way it is and let people enjoy the natural flavor of beef.
After explaining that, Chef Samir went ahead and showed me some of their various high-end cuts, like this prime-aged ribeye, and even this insane 41-ounce, 41-day dry-aged bone-in tenderloin called the Dirk, named after Mavs legend Dirk Nowitzki. What makes it, you know, I guess like the perfect cut?
I think you're looking for the internal marbling, not too much, not too little. That's what you want. Too much marbling means too much fat.
Right.
I believe just the right amount of marbling in there, that's the age factor. So our steaks, or these especially, are dry aged for 55 days, and then we get them in, and then we age them a little more here in the walk-in, just to give it that extra cut.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all, having an actual chef explain things to me for once is very nice, because normally it's me just rambling about things. I was also shown their various cuts of Japanese Wagyu. Samir explained to me that these steaks are all sourced from different regions of Japan, and they all have their own unique flavor profiles. After seeing this extraordinary collection of steaks, one very important question did come to mind. What is the most expensive cut of meat here?
I would say the true Kobe, which is also called Hyogo. It's from the Hyogo region. And this is your true Kobe. You know, that's what it is.
Cow.
And if you look at the marbling, it's intense.
Not only is this arguably the highest quality of beef one can get, but I did some digging and it turns out less than 150 restaurants in the US are actually certified to sell authentic Kobe beef. It also costs you a lot to source, right?
It does. We pay the Japanese Beef Council a fee every year for us, and they allow us to carry it.
So not only is it expensive to source, you have to go through like hoops just to get it. That is insane. Now, obviously having a very high quality piece of meat is important, but the thing is, if you can't cook it right, then it doesn't even matter. Taking that into account, I wanted to do something I don't normally do on this channel, and that's get into the kitchen myself. So obviously I can sit here and have Chef Samir explain how to properly cook the perfect steak. Getting hands-on experience is always gonna be better. Chef Samir then brought out 4 gorgeous cuts of steak that after we finish cooking, I'll actually get to eat, so hopefully I don't mess this up.
What we do a special salt and pepper mix, straight kosher salt, black pepper.
Gotcha.
And that's what we use for all our steaks. nothing else.
Just salt and pepper.
If you're gonna buy something good, why mess with it? Let its flavors speak right there.
Funnily enough, I've heard the same thing about really good barbecue. Just salt and pepper too.
Yeah, sure, I guess. I've never done barbecue. So.
To start, I watched Chef Samir season one of the steaks, and then it was my turn. Okay, so just a handful of salt.
A decent amount, yeah.
And then just kind of higher up. I don't want to make a mess.
That's okay, we make a mess all the time.
Is that good?
Yeah,
or
I would go a little bit more.
More, okay.
Just pat it down so it kind of sticks to it.
So like pat it down here, kind of like this.
Uh-huh.
See, I know how to make a steak, but I feel like because I'm in a professional kitchen, I'm just more nervous.
Well, flip it over.
Okay.
Same thing on the other side. So this is a Montague broiler, which about 2100 degrees from the top, really, really hot.
So this might be a dumb question, but how can you tell when it's perfectly done?
So that's the beauty about the guys I have. Some of my guys, 70% of my kitchen guys have been with me since day one. That's 27
amazing.
years. These guys got it perfect. They have a system back here where they know which is medium rare, which is medium well, which
Is it just by instinct?
instinct, feel, that's it.
That is crazy. I would assume that like a steakhouse of this caliber, you know, you'd use more tech, you know, more
No tech here.
thermometers, more whatever.
No tech here at all.
After a bit on the broiler, all of the steaks got brushed with some butter, and while they finished cooking, I got a chance to talk with Chef Samir a little bit more. Now, something I just couldn't help but notice during our talk was how much detail went into every part of this operation, from each individual steak being carefully selected to the credit being given to everyone else in the kitchen. The main thing I took away from this is that Chef Samir really wants to give people a dining experience they'll never forget. Did you say y'all make the best steaks in Dallas? Or is that too? I don't want to start any drama.
You're only as good as the people around you. I have amazing people around me.
That's awesome. Once the steaks were ready to go, it was finally time for me to make my way into their beautiful dining room. All right, everyone. The food has been served, and this looks absolutely gorgeous. So first things first, right here we got the tomahawk. This is the one that I salted. Hopefully I did okay on that. Next, we have the bone-in filet mignon, a bone-in New York strip, and finally one of their fancier cuts called the Chateaubriand. Obviously, we couldn't eat just meat, and they were very nice enough to bring out a few sides. We got some asparagus over here, and right here we got some fries, which look absolutely gorgeous. Since there is so much food, I cannot eat this alone, which is why I brought some friends. Over here, we got Jim. Everybody knows Jim. The moms in the comments love Jim. And over here, this is my friend Shane. He also has a YouTube channel, and he's done like a full documentary on Nick and Sam in specific that is way more in-depth than anything I could ever do. Now, I know I've said this already, but I am here before the restaurant is even open, which is why there is nobody behind us. Normally, it is so busy. This place is popping. So getting to eat here like this is absolutely insane. Thank you to Nick and Sam for letting us do this. Now that I've said all that, are y'all excited to eat?
Oh my God, yes. Yes.
Now, since this is the one I seasoned, I gotta start with the tomahawk. So first things first, we're gonna get this off the bone. Once it's off the bone, we're gonna slice this thing right through the middle. Let's check it out. Is this a good medium rare? Oh my Lord, that looks beautiful. All right, boys, cheers.
Cheers.
Dear God, that might be the best piece of meat I've ever put in my mouth. I gotta stop with this. All right, Shane, since you've eaten here plenty of times, how did I do on the seasoning?
I'm not lying, you actually did a pretty good job. The comparison's actually pretty close. I would say I'm proud of you, man.
Are you saying I could work here?
Well, I don't know if you could work here, but you could salt the steaks, that's for sure. Also, the cut of meat is like incredible, so I feel like you sort of had the upper hand in that scenario.
Whoa. We're gonna leave it at I seasoned it real good. Jim, what are your thoughts?
Wow. There's nothing really much else to say. I mean, I did like the natural juices on it. That was really, really good.
So the next one we're gonna try is the Chateaubriand. Now, from what I was told, this is a highly prized and expensive cut of steak because it comes from the center of the beef tenderloin. Only 2 tenderloins exist per cow, which makes this cut extremely exclusive.
This is one of my favorite cuts of all time, and I've only had it here because I don't think they do it at a lot of places, but man, it's so good.
Talk to me. I've never had this at all, so I don't know what to expect.
So what I like about this cut is you get the tenderness of a filet, but with the bone in, it adds this like extra kind of smoky element, and you still kind of get that like beefy flavor that you get from like a little extra like bone marrow in it. It's literally like butter.
There it is, the classic Jim nod.
Everything that Shane said. I wouldn't be able to say it. Hold on. I mean, you talk about something that melts in your mouth. This steak's amazing. You were right, Shane.
The fact that it melts in your mouth and it's like a leaner cut is crazy. All right, now it's my turn. The boys have been hyping this up. I've never had this before, so I'm curious. The camera's real far back, but cheers. What is going on? That is crazy. The char on it too is insane. Sorry, I'm talking with my mouth full. There's like smokiness, savoriness. Oh my Lord. Next, we tried the bone-in New York strip, which I found out was Jim's favorite cut of steak.
I've never had a New York strip like this.
Is that the best New York strip you've ever had?
Hands down. No joke.
Jim don't even want to film. He just want to eat right now.
That was so good.
Dude, I expected the tomahawk to be my favorite, but this New York strip is insane. And last but not least, the bone-in filet mignon. I understand the price tag now. I think I get it. Not only were the steaks absolutely fantastic, the sides they brought out were perfect too. Even after we were full, it was hard to stop eating. So I'm officially done with my meal at Nick and Sam's. And if it wasn't obvious enough, that was one of the most luxurious meals I think I've had in my entire life. Not to mention being in there before the restaurant is even open. That was crazy. I've never done anything like that. Now that I've experienced all 3 levels of steak, it's about time I tell y'all which one I found the most worth it. Going into this, I honestly thought that there would be a super obvious answer. But after trying each level, from the steak being fuel to get work done, one that's great for a night out, to a steak dinner I'll never forget. It's clear that each of these steaks have evolved to fit very different purposes. So, I honestly can't make a decision right now since I've tried them all, but which one was the most worth it to you?